Breakdown is presented by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow.
Welcome into the Week 9 edition of The Breakdown. Phil Perry, Ted Johnson here to talk about a 26-3 win over the Colts. Dominating defensive performance. You get some points on special teams, Ted. That's the kind of game you know Bill Belichick is happy to see when it comes to those two phases.
Yeah, I mean, the defense stepped up. I mean, they were great. 9 sacks, are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. I mean, just wreaking havoc in the backfield all game long. You know, but the Colts were complicit in that as well. I mean, it's probably the worst offensive line in the NFL. They chose to start their third-string quarterback, and their best running back by far, Jonathan Taylor, was on the shelf. So that all helped the Patriots defense, but still, nonetheless, a great performance.
Okay, dose of reality there from you, Ted. A little dose of reality for this Patriots offense, too, right? They left this game, it felt like, with more questions than answers. Let's take a quick look at what the Patriots were able to do offensively in this one. Hard to give them a ton of credit, right, Ted? I mean, the Pats setting season lows with just 11 first downs and 203 total yards. Not what you're looking for. It was the fewest yards they've gained in the Mac Jones era. And speaking of Jones, he was also sacked 4 times, just a week after he was sacked a career-high 6 times against the Jets. Here's more from the Patriots quarterback.
Definitely some things I'm sure I'll see on film that you want to have back, but at the same time, you got to move the ball, and we got to eliminate some of those negative plays, and we're just in long yard situations just way too often, and it's the NFL. Like, these guys are pretty good. So if you put yourself behind the sticks, your percentages plummet. It is what it is, but you got to fight through it and figure out a way to be better on first and second down, and then that helps you on third down.
It's time now for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, a lot going on with this Patriots offense right now. People want to know what's gone wrong with this Patriots offense for it to look the way it's looked. We're going to take a look at one of the 4 sacks that Mac Jones absorbed on Sunday, and you have "take a profit" written at the top of the board. One of Mac Jones' favorite sayings, but he doesn't necessarily do it on this play. And I think on this play, Ted, it encapsulates a lot of what has gone wrong for the Patriots this season.
You're absolutely right. So this is the second drive of the game. The Patriots are backed up. It's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. That's a long down and distance. The Patriots got to do better on first and second down to get him in short third down, down and distance. So they're in 3rd and 10 right here. A lot of the problem with the Patriots right now is their pass protection. We know that the offensive line is not that good. They got to get 10 yards, right? So you got to get routes that are longer developing routes. So it's going to make these offensive linemen have to protect longer. The problem is what you have to do is, because you don't have a good offensive line, you got to keep guys in extra to protect, like Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry in these plays. And so that's a lot of the problem with what's going on with the Patriots offense. And then also that finally Mac Jones isn't seeing the field like he needs to and, quote unquote, taking profit. So right here, the Colts are in a cover 3. They go to a cover 2 look pre-snap, and then they shift to a cover 3 down here, third, right here. Okay. These guys, there's a curl flat out here. This guy's got the third. These guys take away these 2 routes right here on this side. And on this side, this cornerback and this safety take away. They bracket this route right here. And so now Mac Jones has nowhere to go. The pass rush isn't getting there to him. He's got time. And so what happens is they keep Hunter Henry in here to help with Ted-Nique on this. He chips, and once he feels Ted-Nique has him, no problem, he releases out into the route late. And then you also see Ramondre Stevenson kind of check through as well, go through here. And here's the problem. We lost our tight end, but he's right here. Trust me. Mac Jones, once he sees these guys taken on the deep routes, he's got to go to a secondary outlet. Ramondre Stevenson's being covered one by one by this linebacker. And then Hunter Henry's out here in the flat all by himself after he chips on this D lineman. He loses patience. He panics. He steps up in the pocket. He gets sacked. But here's the thing with Mac. He's got to go to a secondary outlets. His body clock is being sped up, and he's not seeing the field like he used to. Part of the problem is these long down and distances. He's not trusting the protection. And so his body clock is getting sped up. Phil.
Yeah, they haven't given him a lot of reason to trust that protection, Ted. So when he has the ball in his hands, he understands, I got to get rid of this thing in 2 seconds. If his initial read isn't there, you're starting to see what we've seen from him the last couple of weeks, which is scramble around, try to make a play with his legs. That's not where the Patriots want to be. All right, we're getting right to the report card nice and early this week. I love it. My report card is presented by the Massachusetts School of Law. As always, you can read more about the reasoning behind these grades on NBCSportsBoston.com. But there's one grade that shouldn't need too much explanation. That is the big old yellow F there for the Patriots offensive line. And Ted, that's a grade that I gave the Patriots offensive line right after the game. Went back, watched the game again today. I somehow felt worse about the Patriots offensive line after rewatching it. It just feels like they can't get any sort of consistency going, run game or pass game.
You know, Phil, you're absolutely right to give them an F. I mean, let's face it, the offensive line right now is in shambles. There's not a lot of continuity. There's guys that are getting injured. Some guys are going in and out. There's performance-based benching that you're seeing. And so there's just not a lot of continuity. And I'm not sure this offensive line knows, is it a power offensive line? Is it a zone run scheme offensive line? And so right now there's, I think, just a lot of confusion in which I think is the most important unit on the team.
Well, and we saw the very first play of the game. First play, first offensive series should be one of your best plays in theory, right? It's the first play on your script. They end up getting blown up, and that's going to lead us to our Ted-Nique. Ted-Nique is presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. We're going to bring in one of the best athletes in the newsroom here, Tommy Giles, to help us out and explain what went wrong on that first play of the game for the New England Patriots. They decide to run it. It goes for -2 yards, Ted. And then, as you mentioned just earlier in the show, you can't be going backwards on first and second down because it kills you on third down.
They had too many negative plays. They had 5 negative plays on 11 first down runs. Not very good. Tommy Giles, I'm going to have you play DeForest Buckner, that big old defensive lineman right there. And this is a problem, okay? The offensive line, all right? You had James Ferentz, who was filling in for David Andrews. You have Cole Strange as the left guard, who's, having issues, if you will, this season. The Patriots like to do this zone run scheme, and they've been doing it, and they started the game with this, but they lost negative yards on this. So let's show you what the Patriots are doing and what they need to do to correct. So you have DeForest Buckner, who's lined up in a 2 technique. Scoot in a little bit, guys, here. He's in a 2 techniques, which means the inside shoulder of that guard on the center. This center, James Ferentz, his job is to reach and scoop, slip and scoop this DeForest Buckner, who is a 2 technique. That is a long way to go for this center, okay? So this is what happened on the first play of the game. It was a 5-yard loss right here. This is what happened. James Ferentz and Cole Strange combo block on DeForest Buckner, and I'm going to show you what happened. So at the snap of the ball, said, hike, DeForest Buckner goes up, Cole Strange vacates and goes up to the second line of defense right there instead of staying on the block with Cole Strange. So DeForest Buckner gets upfield and makes a great play. All right? This is what they should have done. So we'll go back. DeForest Buckner's in the 2 technique. James Ferentz is right here. This is what needed to happen. Cole Strange, who's a rookie, who probably hasn't done a lot of this with James Ferentz, he needs to stay on this block longer. Said hike. He needs to stay on it longer to give James Ferentz a chance to get his feet over to seal DeForest Buckner. That's what he's got to do. So you got to stay longer. There's nuance. There's subtlety. It's hard to execute, and you really need an offensive line that's worked together and has continuity if you're going to try to execute those kind of plays. Right now, the Patriots, we saw them getting killed with these plays in training camp. And it's week 9, guys, and we're still seeing the same mistakes.
Really difficult block for James Ferentz to try to execute against one of the best interior defensive linemen in the game.
Correct.
But as you mentioned, with David Andrews out, Cole Strange not necessarily used to working with James Ferentz, and so all that subtlety, that nuance that you talk about, maybe gets lost with some of the shuffling pieces up front for the New England Patriots. A lot going on there. And a great job once again, by Tommy Giles. Just a phenomenal presence on the inside. Absolute specimen of a human being. Tuesday at 6 o'clock, you got another couple specimens that are bringing quick slants to your televisions. Tommy Curran will be joined by the great Kay Adams, as he is every week. And Quick Slants is presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Still to come, the Patriots did win the game, okay? So plenty of positive to talk about. They did it with a dominating defensive performance, and we're going to be breaking down some historic defensive sack-specific numbers when the breakdown returns. Colts offense reaching new depths of despair in Sunday's loss to the Patriots. Indy scored just 3 points and had only 121 total yards. That was their fewest in a game in 25 years, a quarter century. The Colts did not convert a single third down, and Sam Ehlinger was sacked 9 times. Now, was that bad offense, dominating defense, Ted? I mean, which way do you lean when you see a third-string quarterback come in, go 0 for 16 combined on 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's a great defensive performance, but it's also the Colts were complicit, I think, in having given the Patriots an opportunity to have a feast on them, and they certainly did. This offense. Yikes. I mean, it is one of the worst offenses, maybe worse than that 04 Bills offense I played when J.P. Lossman was the quarterback. Woo. And that's saying something right there.
That is, and they end up getting their coach fired today. Sure, Frank Reich, no longer head coach of the Colts. It sounds like Jeff Saturday, former center for Peyton Manning.
That's a bit of a head-scratcher.
An opponent for you
out
there, going to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. It certainly seems like they're really not trying to win football games right now, so that was just the kind of team that rolled through here. But still, plenty of, again, positive moments defensively for special teams. Maybe the biggest moment of all came in the kicking game for New England. It's Jonathan Jones blocking a punt in the second quarter. We have all the details. There is much more to this play than maybe you would have thought. Ted's breaking it down.
We had that dialed up on punt, to go after him pretty early. I don't know if it's revenge from last year, but it's kind of on our radar to go after him, on special teams. That was a big play early in the game, kept momentum going, and we buy into that. Special teams, defense, offense. We play together like that. It makes games easier.
We're back out here for Board Games Now, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. The name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, we had to do it to him. We had to break down another special teams play, second week in a row. This one a game changer from Jonathan Jones. He blocks a punt, helps lead to a 2-play, quote-unquote, touchdown drive by the New England Patriots. Maybe the biggest play of the game. You've got perfect timing written at the top of the board. Break it down for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. So this is a really nice play by Jonathan Jones right here off the edge, and really the Patriots scouting all week what the Colts like to do in pump formation. So what you have here, this is Matthew Slater. He's lined up over here originally. He moves over to this side and rushes. Whenever you're doing a count on punt team, you just count all the guys on the line of scrimmage. So on this side, 1, 2, 3 is covered by these 3 guys right here. These 3 guys have these 3 guys. And on this side right here, they have these 3 guys. The up back has Matthew Slater who's coming through. However, who has Jonathan Jones who sneaks in to block this thing? The answer is nobody. That is on the punter to get the ball out fast, or the up back to see him cheating in before the snap and calling off the play, going into something different. He doesn't do that. They go with the play, and we all know what happened, okay? The Patriots put Jabril Peppers back here with Marcus Jones as a returner. Why? They did that the week before and had a lot of success having Jabril Peppers catch or block in front of Marcus Jones for big returns. They did the same thing this week. The Colts probably see that, and they go, they did this last week. No big deal. So they don't even anticipate this happening. Here's the thing. At the snap of the ball, so the center, once he puts his head down, 1,000, 1,000 snap. There's a cadence and a rhythm. The Patriots picked up on that. Jonathan Jones times it up perfect. He hits it off the edge. But here's the key right here. Brendan Schooler right here. He has to get this wing guy to block and pinch inside. He goes up and then hard inside. You got to get this guy to cover you inside, so that this edge is shortened for Jonathan Jones. Also to note, see this hash marks right here? You only run this play if they're on the right hash mark, because the distance for Jonathan Jones to the punter is decreased when you're on that hash mark. If it was on the other hash mark, you don't do this play. So it's on the right hash mark. Jonathan Jones, the center, puts his head down, 1,000, 1,000 snap. He times it up perfectly. Brendan Schooler brings this wing in with him. That shortens the edge right there. Lays out, and he has an excellent punt block on this. And here's the thing. Once Jonathan Jones leaves to go block the punt, Jabril Peppers covers him just in case the punter wants to throw it out here to this gunner right here. They don't, because they don't see it in time, and it's a great play, great timing, good job scouting, and kind of knowing what their cadence was so that they could get a clean kind of break on it and make a play.
This is why people love the breakdown, Ted. You look at this play on TV, it might just say really fast guy runs in, blocks a punt. No. There's timing involved. There's scheme. There's technique. Schooler going to that inside shoulder to make sure he clears the path for Jonathan Jones. It's all there on that one play. And that's why we got the big guy to break it all down for us. Ted's out here, too. He's itching because he wants me to let the people know. And it's a left-footed punter. That cuts down on the space, too, for Jonathan Jones. Lets him get right in there, makes that block. The Patriots actually signed a practice squad left-footed punter to practice last week. So it all comes together. Okay, we mentioned those 9 sacks, right? When your defense plays like this, you're going to be pretty hard to beat no matter who's on the other side. These numbers are presented by your local New England Ford dealers and Ford trucks. Built Ford tough. The 9 total sacks, tied for the most in the Patriots era under Bill Belichick. Matthew Judon and Josh Uche had 3 each. It was just the second time in team history that the Patriots had 2 players record 3 sacks in the same game. Patriots are second in the league with 32 sacks. The individual sack leader, your Matthew Judon. Ted-Nique is coming at you right now. It's presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. And Ted, we're welcoming in Trenny Casey. We're welcoming in Tom Giles once again. They're going to be the Colts offensive line, and we are just going to run through them like wet paper towels.
Yeah,
and we're going to get to the quarterback.
That.
Okay.
Not quite, but I like where your head's at. Okay. All right, so this Tom and Trini are going to be the guard and tackle to this side. So the Patriots ran this 2-man stunt. It's called the TE stunt. Tackle in stunt or x-stunt, okay? And this is where they got a lot of the sacks. Matthew Judon got 2 of his sacks. Josh Uche got a couple of his sacks doing the x-stunt or TE stunt. And basically, here's what it is. So I'm going to play Matthew Judon. I'm the outside rusher to the left side. Phil is going to be my defensive tackle on the inside. It's, again, a 2-man stunt. This tackle is setting it up for me to come around and make the play. And the Colts offensive line were complicit in it. So they're kind of dumb, and that's what dumb teams do, is they can't figure out how to stop this, and the Patriots kill them doing this play over and over again. So here's what we got. We got 2 rushers right here. At the snap of the ball, these guys are going to step back, set, hike. Phil is going to try and bring this guard in and get his attention in to bring him this way so that Judon can come around and make the play. When you see this guard's shoulders turned as an outside rusher and you see his face pointing this way, you're like, oh, baby, I know I'm going to have the edge coming around. All right, so that was the key. It's that X stunt. What he's supposed to do is stay flatter, but when they turn their shoulders like that, and the key for us as rushers is we really want to sell it like we're coming to the outside to bring the lineman over here. And then this is when you can counter it, come back, loop around, and make a play. The Patriots killed them all day long with this X-stunt.
Now, would Lawrence Guy or Daniel Ekwale, whoever's in there, would he even maybe grab an offensive lineman and pull him that way, Ted?
Phil, oh my gosh, of course.
You know, as long as it's legal.
Let me get some of this with Tom. Yeah, there you go, pull it. And then you pull the arm. You know what? Sometimes you could pull that arm in there just a little, just so that he can't get it out and he can't get over when the guy loops around. So little techniques like that, little shenanigans go on all the time, and I would highly recommend that.
I just wanted to throw Giles around a little bit more when I had my opportunity. You got to make the most of those things. Okay, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, tune in for the game plan. Tom Giles, the aforementioned, will be joined by 2-time Super Bowl champion Vince Wilfork. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. We're not done yet on the breakdown. Still to come. Do the Patriots enter the bye week with an identity crisis? We're breaking out our Monday night spotlight right after this. All right, so the Patriots hit the bye week above 500 in the standings, but looking distinctly unlike a Bill Belichick team at times, right? The Patriots right now rank dead last in the NFL with 17 turnovers. They're converting less than 50% of their trips into the red zone, which ranks 29th, and they're in the bottom half of the league in penalties. So, Bill, what do you think?
We certainly know a lot more about our team after 9 regular season games than we did back in September after 3 preseason games. So this will give us a good chance here in the next few days to look a little closer and find some areas that we can improve in, as we go forward, and hopefully that'll help us. Well, I mean, we've had good moments and bad moments over the course of the season. I think the big thing has been a consistency. And that's shown up a little bit in all 3 phases of the game.
Monday Night Spotlight is presented by the Oakers Company, proud sponsor of the New England Patriots. Ted, I believe Bill Belichick when he says we know more about our team now than we did before the season began. I'm just not sure how much of what they know now is all that positive. What can you say about the identity of this team right now as it stands?
Yeah, I think the identity for the team is clearly its defense. I mean, the defense is going to carry this team. Now, I didn't think it's a good enough defense to overcome the deficiencies on offense. I mean, can they win, some games in the regular season? Yeah, but for the playoffs, it's going to be more difficult. To not see any real improvement in this offense after 9 games from what we started with in training camp till now is pretty disheartening.
You're right when it comes to the defense, right? It feels like it's an opportunistic defense that has really carried through the first half of the season here, an offense that continues to shoot itself in the foot. I mean, that defense among the league leaders in turnovers, when on the other side, the Patriots can't stop giving it away. When it comes to the offense and an identity there, is that important, right? Because the Patriots were a game plan team for years and years and years under Tom Brady. So they may say, well, what's an identity? We don't need one. Our identity is week to week. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I would say I don't agree with that because look, here's the thing. You got to have something you can hang your hat on, something that you're good at. Whenever you're a game plan offense, it means you're pretty good at a few things so that every single week you can adapt to what the opponent's doing and do that thing that you do pretty good against that opponent. They don't do anything pretty good right now, Phil, and that's the discouraging thing. Not 29th in the red zone. All they worked on at the beginning of training camp was red zone, red zone, red zone. They're 29th, and the giveaways is inexcusable for a Bill Belichick team.
They also worked a lot this summer on the zone runs. We're not seeing that much in terms of the wide zone stuff. They run plenty of inside zone, but they run plenty of power as well. They run some RPOs. They run some spread. They run some 2 tight end, Ted. It feels like they're trying a lot of different things, and they haven't figured out something they can consistently turn to.
And so that goes to play calling. They got to figure out during this bye week what they're good at and stick with it. You talk about schematic inconsistencies. That's really what is the issue right now. The Patriots got to get that buttoned up if they have any chance during the bye.
We'll be back here talking about it next week. Early edition with Trenny coming up next.